Assalamu alaikum. Hello there. Welcome to Science. I want to thank you for being here, for wanting to learn more and more every day. Thank you so much, guys. So, today we are continuing with the topic slow changes to Earth's landscape. And today our focus is on weathering of rocks. By the end of this lesson, you're gonna be able to say, I can define weathering and I can recognize the effect of weathering on rocks. We're gonna watch this video together. If you wanna watch it any other time, you can take the link from your PowerPoint, copy and paste it into your browser, or you can click on the link under the description of this video. But for today, we are going to watch the video together.
Weathering. Weathering is the process when large rocks are broken into small pieces. Water is one way that large rocks can be weathered. During the day, precipitation in the form of rain can fill cracks in rocks. Then, at night, if the temperature is cold enough, the water will freeze and expand. As the water expands, it breaks the rock into smaller pieces. Another cause of weathering is wind. Some wind gusts are strong enough to carry small pieces of rock. When the particles carried by the wind strike larger rocks, the large rock can be broken down. Heat from the sun is another source of weathering. As the sun beats down on Earth, moisture is evaporated, creating cracks in the soil. The drying out of earth and continual cracking of the soil creates smaller pieces from larger ones. All of these types of weathering are examples of physical weathering. Don't forget that weathering is a process that takes a long time to happen, sometimes even thousands of years. Weathering.
That was a nice video. So let's see. Now you can go and grab your book, Inspire Book, Unit 3, and open it in page 12. Write the date on top of the page. Remember, today is Tuesday, May 12th, 2020. Let's read it together. It says weathering. Water can break down rocks into smaller pieces. The breaking down of rocks into smaller pieces is called weathering. Water and wind can break down rocks into small rocks. Small rocks can break down into sand or soil. Over time, weathering changes the shape and size of rocks. He also mentioned in the video that sun could be a factor of weathering. And it takes a long time for this to happen. That is why it is one of the slow changes of landforms. Now look at this picture. It's called the Eagle Rock. It is a rock that over time has changed its shape into an eagle. It looks like an eagle. Do you have any idea of how this happened? Can you think of any reasons of for this rock to have changed its shape? Imagine that this rock wasn't like that many years ago. How did it change into this shape? Put on your thinking hats, guys, and think. How could this rock have changed into an eagle rock? Think of what I've just told you in the slide and think about what you heard in the video. So there could have been different reasons for this rock to have changed. Maybe if there was heavy rain for some time and it broke down the rocks. Maybe there was heavy wind who also changed the shape, right? Those could have been reasons. Let's see. Here we have this question. How did weathering change this rock? A sample answer that we could give is strong wind broke off bits of the rock over time. So yes, a strong wind could have been one of the reasons. So you can write this answer in your book, page 12. Let's look at this one now on page 13. Tiny grains of sand can cause big changes in a desert. Wind blows sand against tall rocks. The sand cuts the rocks like a knife. The shapes of the rocks change slowly over time. So, again, how do you think this rock changed? Think, guys. How do you think this rock changed? Could have been because of winds. Winds blow sand against tall rocks. So maybe over time there was a lot of sand around this rock and it changed its shape. Now, let's do the tasks. Again, guys, I'm trusting that when I ask you to pause the video, you pause it and you answer on your own, then you continue the video to check your answers. This first task says, write the definition of weathering as you have understood from the lesson, and then draw to show how weathering can change rocks. Again, to find this answer, you can go back to the slides. You can go back to any of the slides, and also you can go back and watch the video again to find out your answer. Once you find your answer, continue with the lesson so that we can check the answers together. So the definition of weathering, as simple as it could be, is breaking down of rocks. Breaking down of rocks into smaller pieces. This is weathering. So when the rocks get broken, of course, they're going to change their shape. So as a simple definition, we can say that weathering is the breaking down of rocks into smaller pieces. And now you can also draw here. Draw something to show how weathering can change rocks. Up to you guys. You can draw a rock, a big rock that had been broken down into smaller pieces. And for the next task, we have two sentences that we need to fill in. We need to fill in the blanks with words from the box. We have the word smaller, changes, and rocks. Let's see number one. Weathering is the breaking down of what? Into what pieces? Think of the answer. Number two, weathering causes in the shapes of rocks. Again, pause the video, answer on your own, and then continue with the video. Let's do number one together. Weathering is the breaking down of rocks. Yes, rocks into smaller pieces. And weathering causes what in the shapes of rocks? changes. It causes changes in the shapes of rocks. And as a closure, simply write one fact that you learned from today's lesson. Again, you can go back to the slides, check them out, and see one fact that you learned from today's lesson. Pause the video, answer it, then come back to the video. One possible answer, one fact could be, as an example, doesn't mean that if you wrote different than mine is wrong, but I will give you an example. One fact could be that water and wind can break down rocks into small rocks. Let's write that down. Water and wind can break down rocks into small rocks. So thank you so much, you guys, for being here, for paying attention, for doing your work, and bye-bye.